Lucifer's business.
What do you mean by the great word Lucifer?
That in the noosphere, in the noosphere, you've got an entity that's fed by the humans, horror films, the church, and all the other things, black magic, all the Luciferians. So it actually builds like a tulpa, an entity that's the great Lord Lucifer.
That's a thought construct created by us.
Yeah.
Or was it there already?
What other alien civilizations have similar beings, and they're all so similar. So you can imagine it's a megaversal entity with its Earth version here. Let's move on to the altar. Minion, trolley.
Like these holes.
Now these are the Kabbalistic pillars. This one...
say this again.
These are the Kabbalistic pillars. This is the left pillar of evil. So...
I'll just say, my friends seem for the Masons in Brighton to bring their children down here when they reach 10 or 11 years old, and they get them to touch it at like midnight or something.
Yeah. So this one, you get rid of your evil. So we've got 13 concentric circles, the machine code of evil, to download all my evil into the pillar. And this is restricting the ley line system, as we've explained. And then we put all the satanic evil that I deal with has all been downloaded, so none of it backfires on me. It all goes into the human population, the ley line system. So every time you do this, the little energy bubbles of people swell up with the energy which you've stuck in to the ley line system. So Duncan and Annie and well, they're vampires, so they feel not, but your energy bubble is modified by that simple ritual. And then we go to the right hand pillar. This one's the good stuff, but I just like eviling it anyway. And the pedant in the Saturday Times will be whining about eviler, but as I say, language evolves. So here I'm gaining good, not by touching it, but by putting debt into it. So you can gain energy from touching, or by making it more evil. Either way you get energy. I don't like touching these Kabbalistic pillars to suck up energy, because they're war memorials, and I don't want, as a male, link in with being blown to pieces, maimed, killed and sold. So I don't upload energy by direct contact, I upload it by adding depth. And as you can see, we've got the 1, the 2, the 3 space. We've got the deep state. No, it's a deep state that Theresa May has been told to run a continuous fleet to try and block the filming. Then we've got the trough for the water. So the water fills up with the rain, so they're sitting in the south. Then we've got one.
What's the purpose of that?
South is water, -1. So continue when it rains. These pillar with the names are sitting in the south, -1.
So this is really programmed esoteric.
Yeah, they all are. The whole of Brighton is, the whole of London, the whole of Birmingham, the whole of Manchester, Edinburgh. So then we've got 1, 2, 3 again, 3 space. We got the wreath, which of course has got Illuminati significance. You can make it from the vine. The vine is evil in Kabbalah and was the thing that stopped Moses from reaching the 50th gateway of attention, which is ascendancy, enlightenment, Metatronic. So we've got here the vine, which stops any of these escaping by the Metatronic route. So that's why this is up here, to block them. And of course we've got 6, 3 there, 3 there, which gives 6.
Brave people who died servicing, believing the they knew what they were really doing.
Well, they wouldn't, because, as I say, this is all secret Illuminati knowledge. minion. Rothschild girlies, please. So here, of course, we've got the altar. Look at the pillars we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take it off, we'll put it back on. All of them. 5, 6, 7. 7 stands for manifestation. And here, of course, we can stick our Rothschild women to do a nice black ritual on all the Rothschild women.
Yeah, we called her Emma, but she's actually Kate. Doesn't matter, does it? The name was wrong.
I don't know. I'll have to castigate you, minion, in private. Full castigation is coming, minion.
What's her middle name's Emma?
Extreme castigation. No, I'll take those with you.
Take it off.
So here, of course, we've got the Rothschild who we're going to do the ritual on. Stick some bad stuff on. And let's name them. We've got Jessica de Rothschild, daughter of Evelyn Rothschild. Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, married to Evelyn de Rothschild. Nikki Hilton Rothschild, married to James Rothschild. Serena Mary Dunn Rothschild, wife of the Emperor. This is your master. Bow down to Jacob Rothschild. So that's the wife of the Emperor of the West. We've got Emma, who's now Katie. We've got Emma Georgina Rothschild, Charlotte de Rothschild, Ariana de Rothschild, and Annabelle Neeson Rothschild. So what we're going to do is call up this fucktard, Annabelle. There we are. And remember, once someone dies, their car, that's their revenant soul spirit, is around for 6 months. And after 6 months it dissipates unless you put it into a pyramid or a generator to keep it going, or like Crowley, burn it in Brighton to link up with the Prince Regent. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Rothschilds that we're going to input in. So of course that's the male energy. And remember, the husbands of these Rothschild women have all got their energy, because when you fuck a woman, her energy sucked out and given to the male. So all the men, the 8 men, either the boyfriends or the husbands, are all included in this ritual. Now what we want to do is transport all of the information from Annabelle into the Rothschilds and their husbands. Since they're self-similar, we can call up the Rothschild archetype. There we are. And we move her into eye to the eyeing her, whoops, inside the Rothschild archetype. She, of course, needs to be made minus eye. So we need to make sure she's minus eyed. So we need to get KP, who's the source of minus eyeing, which is in the trolley. So as you can see, technology for minus eye, you need a damned soul. She, of course, is damned. So what we're going to do is transfer her minus eye, upload it, but remember this is the one for transferring minus eye, to Annabelle. So we simply do that 3, 4, 5. That means then we can dispense with KP. So now what we've done, we stick the minus eye of KP inside Annabelle de Rothschild. This then, of course, can erase. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That erases the old Annabelle. Then, of course, we can add to it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we've done the Damnation Transference. If you don't understand Damnation Transference, then you want to watch Mickey Rourke's film Angel Heart, where that's fully described, and or read the book Fallen Angel, where that's the whole basis of the book, where Mickey Rourke, the damned black magician, transfers himself into a soldier, and his damnation and soul, damned soul, is transferred into left behind. So he transfers his awareness into the soldier, and his damnation is left in the body. So what one could do is transfer the damnation from one person to the other. So instead of transferring the awareness of KP into her, what I'm doing is transferring the damnation minus I of KP into her, to make sure that when I call up Annabelle de Rothschild, stick her inside the I space of the Rothschilds, we've now got an Annabelle Rothschild who's been fully damned, so that we have the minus I in the I to give us the 0.2. Then we do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Annabelle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Rothschilds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together to make it 100%. That then means the whole Rothschild family can be damned. We can have the 0.2 to start erasing all the information of the Rothschilds, all the causality, and of course all of the timelines where the Rothschilds survive me, to the timeline where all the Rothschilds are exterminated by psychic warfare. Not just by me, but by the Chinese, the Russians, the Vietnamese, the North Koreans, the Iranians, the Venezuelans, the Cubans, the Albanians, the Nigerian gangs, the triads, the Russian mafia, corporate worlds, all of the gangsters in the world who want to get in and extort the quadrillions from these people into their pockets. Now, here's the Rothschild archetype, which is huge, massive. You can imagine all the quadrillions. We stick in Annabelle into, we click, the Rothschilds in this one. Now we place this one, which is smaller, inside that one, its energy body. Just simply pop it out, put it in there. This then acts as the generator for that process, and as you can see, if you douse it, the Rothschild archetype starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it's shrunk to this size. We can then start poisoning it, stick in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and again, stick that out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, if we call up the Rothschild archetype, it's not there, it's gone, we've destroyed it. If we call up this damned archetype of Annabelle Rothschild, who's perfect, bang, all the energy of the Rothschilds has been turned into her energy. Now, she's perfect and was chosen for the role. Why? Because she went to Australia, was tied to a tree, had her face beaten to a pulp so she looked like Elephant Man, and was multiply raped by a Wolf Creek If you're into horror movies, watch Wolf Creek 1 and 2. Great. Nice Australian guy who multiply raped her while beating her face until she needed reconstructive surgery. So as you can see, this is the perfect information to embed into the Rothschild females. Why? Because we want to produce a world where all these Rothschild females are tied up, raped and beaten to a pulp, which means total breakdown of the West into Mad Maxville. So she is the mechanism to produce what happened to her to all of the Rothschild women. And after that she became a heroin addict because she tried to kill herself, and then finally fell off a horse, so she was in continual pain, saw her best friend Steve McQueen, the fashion designer, gay friend. She had she promoted him, funded him. That was her best friend who killed himself. And then finally she died, according to the papers, of a heart attack, the Kulagina death telekinetic pinch. That's what the papers said, she died of a heart attack. So as you can see, we're priming all the Rothschild women, and via the women their men, to have their faces smashed to a pulp, be raped, become drug addicts, which means the entire West has to change to do that to them, which means the whole West has to change into Mad Maxville to have total breakdown of social order. So they're all raped, pulped, become drug addicts, all be desperate now for heroin, all have accidents that put them in pain, all see their best friends die, and then finally die from my remote killing technology. So if we call up the Rothschilds, gone. If we call up Annabelle the Rothschild, she suddenly subsumed all of them. So the information from her, the causality from her, has remanifested the Rothschilds. Because remember, with this technology, you can change the future. So the past and present are mutable. And of course we change timelines to a timeline where these people take over the world, to a timeline where they're slaughtered like dogs, and within 10 years there won't be a Rothschild left on the planet who doesn't pay me to live. If they don't pay me, they all die. I prefer they all die, but you can imagine when we get down to 1% Rothschilds, the survivors will all be desperate to pay for protection from the technology I've unleashed upon them. And we've all done this on a Freemasonic altar, so whenever the Freemasons go and worship in their temples, it powers this ritual. Whenever the Illuminati have their Black Sabbath altar with a nude woman who they eat off, or the babies they sacrifice, all powers this ritual. And of course we've got the stone here, which is supposed to be the 10 Commandments, and the opposite side has got more writing, but I'm doing it from the north position, and as you see the altar's got 1, 2, it's got a thing there, 3, 4, then it goes the opposite way. 1, 2, 3, then it goes in again. So this is complex use of the Fibonacci series, time density, where we go from the fourth term powering the third term. The fourth term, of course, is 3, which is the fourth position, and the third term is 2, which is the third position. So as you can see, we've got this 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and then we've got the 4 down there. So time density has been inputted into this altar, and if we count the number of levels, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we've got 3 steps coming up here, 1, 2, 3 again, which gives us that 3 space. So as you can see, this altar is dedicated to the 9, and Colin Bly, of course, incepted the Fountain Group on 1981, and was always rittering on about the power of 9, and that's why he set up the Fountain Group in 1981. Why 9? Well, 9 is the 9th term of the Fibonacci series, is 34, and that's just control over the body and the soul. So if you want to control bodies and souls, you use the 9, and that's why the 34 BSRI engine, the term 34 is useful to have 34 crystals to be able to change the souls and bodies of your victims. Now, of course, these are the wrong way round, so we should turn them round. There we go. Because they're in the Black Magician's position. Now we've got Annabelle on the bottom, and we simply do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the Russians found that paper is a great collector of time density. So paper's brilliant for doing these rituals. 13. And if you want to read about time density, then you can simply buy Ostrander and Schroeder's book, Psychic Discoveries Behind the Iron Curtain, which talks about that. Then, of course, if you want to finish the ritual, rather like a cookery program, you need to burn these to make it irrevocable, or take it to the end of the pier, chuck it into the water, which I do, after putting this in these squares, the symbol of evil, onto the metal pylons of the pier. And when you want to block a ley line, you stick an iron rod in, so that basically stops the earth energy coming into the country of doing anything but killing the Rothschilds. So that seals the ritual. But then, of course, I couldn't have the surviving Rothschilds paying me billions and trillions and quadrillions for saving them years in the future if I did that, because then it would be irrevocable and all the Rothschilds would die no matter what I did. I could not undo it. So if these bits of paper were burnt here, or I chucked them into the sea and did the iron rod ritual, that would then be completely irrevocable, and they would then not be able to pay me or do anything to stop it, and I would not be able to stop it. So as you can see, we put it in a state where I can stop it in the future for the few Rothschilds who are willing to pay me big money. Now, of course, we come to the pool. Here we got the -1 of the water, and if we count the sides, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you look at those bits there, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then those little bits there, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 12, of course, is the good stuff. So you can think, when you plonk the souls into the -1, all the good stuff can be collected and dumped to the Black Magician, who's got the keys to put into the altar, because if you try anything on the altar, it won't work. But Colin Bly gave me the keys for the ritual. And as you see, you've got the pillars here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the other side, another 6. 6 stands for the male principle. When you have the 2 male principles together, you get the 12. The 12 is to get all the good stuff, the billions and all the uber witches sitting on my face and all the people worshipping me, and the Ferraris and the mansions and the private jets. So as you can see, all of this technology is here only for the Illuminati. So when someone else comes to try and do the ritual, it won't work because they haven't got the keys. And as you can see on the opposite side, we've got our 10 Commandments type. This is just we've got power of the high seas, North Sea, narrow seas, home seas. All of these seas, of course, are the water. Yeah. So all of these seas, and then of course we've got the coat of arms, fishes of demons and Kabbalah, the 2 Kabbalistic pillars, and the crown dominion Keter over them all. So that's a Kabbalistic tree which is inhabited at Tiferet by the two fishes, which are demons, and the 2, of course, stands for the 2 energy you get from the males, 6th position, which is 8, and the 2 is used to make things solid. So you can see there's massive Illuminati symbolism in this altar, and I use this altar all the time for all my black rituals. It's great, right in the centre of town. Next we'll finish off with the fountain. This is the Minion, shut up. This is the Brighton fountain, and Colin Bly got all of the New Age movement from around the world to link their power spots, Ayers Rock and churches and the Vatican, all to put energy into this fountain, and the purpose was to produce this checkerboard effect. And what we're doing there is putting the I with a minus I, so when you mix them, the earth energy goes into this checkerboard, and what he did was produce a checkerboard that spread out from the fountain and went up the ley line system and eventually covered the country. This checkerboard then allows you to carry out complex number technology, as we explained on the last video. Then you can input information into the checkerboard if you're the one controlling its inception. You can then change causality and then change timelines. So you can change the information. Unions bad, Arthur Scargill bad, must destroy the unions. Change the timeline to the Starbucks McDonald timeline, 0 hours contracts, no workers' rights. Then you can change causality to the whole union movement. The reason that they banded together into unions was that the capitalist kleptocrats were stealing off the proletariat. We can change the past, erase it to the modern viewpoint where capitalism's good, and the more we screw the workers the better, and let's not even pay them. Let's have what we didn't have in 1981, which was these fucktard millennials working for free for a year and desperate to work for free for a year to get experience on their CVs. And we call these fucktard scum interns who wouldn't have even been given the time of day, but Colin Bly changed the whole of reality. Next, of course, we can move this checkerboard through having all of the New Age movement putting their energy into this. Remember, this fountain links us with the dark energy matter realm. Remember, fountains link us to the 7 levels and the underworld. So these entities then can travel up. They can enter into the checkerboard. That's the whole basis of Enokian magic, where you've got a checkerboard and you move pieces along the Enokian magic checkerboard, the technology that was given to Elizabeth I. And that Elizabeth I technology can then use these entities to control complex number space in very sophisticated ways. That's Enokian magic. Think of this as the complex number milieu, and we have in Enokian magic a 12 by 13 checkerboard, which of course we've got the perfect 12 by 13 Enokian magic I-space generator in St Bartholomew's Church, which is 144 feet high by 169 feet long. And of course I did that with soccer, because there were 169 goals scored in the World Cup. And France, of course, won the World Cup because I wanted them to. Why? Because I could stick the Vietnamese energy into the French and use world football as a gigantic hell bomb, I with minus I inside, to erase everything in the world I didn't like. And 7 games to get to the final, so we have the Feigenbaum period doubling, the 7 levels, the 7 manifestation Sephiroth, the Kabbalah, and of course the 12 comes from all the good stuff you get from the World Cup, which all came into me to give me all the good things in the world by destroying the West using football. So you can do the same with NFL. That's the Colin Bly did the same thing by putting Nagasaki, Hiroshima, minus I, into Chernobyl, causing the reactor complex to be destroyed by one of the reactors blowing up, which then could be put into the Soviet Union to cause the fall of the Soviet Union in 1989. So this technology was used, occult warfare, to destroy the Soviet Union, just like Elizabeth I used it to destroy the Spanish, like the British used it to destroy Napoleon with the superstorm at Trafalgar, and how they used it at D-Day to calm the seas so the invasion fleet could come across and do in Hitler. Now, if we wander round the fountain, we see here 4 emergency services on full alert, video spoilers. These are Masonic stones from circles they brought round. Same with those there. They're all bits of rock from Neolithic sites, stone circles. More here. So I always wander around once in a clockwise direction to suck up the energy that Colin Bly incepted. And luckily on the south side we've got a stone laid by Prince Charles, which allows the royal family to be hit with minus I technology. Here we are. Nice stone laid by Prince Charles. So of course it laid it by his own hand. So one can then of course stick negative energy into the royal family. There we go. So we just do our 13 there. And we see why the Queen hasn't dropped down dead, because of the seashell, which has been protecting the royal family since George IV's time. Now it's being deactivated. This, of course, will be lethal to the royal family, and we should be seeing royal family people dropping down dead left, right and centre, which, of course, will get the paedophile, fucktard, degenerate Parker, I think Andrew Parker of MI5, will get him his knighthood immediately. And remember, Amber Heard promised the Bilderbergers I'd be slaughtered like a dog, and she had to go to see the Bilderbergers to explain why she'd fucked up. And of course Theresa May now is being fucked over by the Brexit ritual. Remember we did that ritual where if she tried to do a soft Brexit she'd be destroyed by the Rothschild's energy. So the more she tries her soft Brexit, the more Theresa May and the government will be destroyed. So there's only one safe way for the Tory party, which is to follow the brilliant, the wonderful, the charismatic Lord Snooty, Rees-Mogg, and have a super hard Brexit, pay the Rothschilds EU nothing, chuck out all of the EU immigrants in the country, the million Poles, the 400,000 Romanians, the rest of them, chuck them all out, and of course follow the great, the wonderful, the kind, male Mother Teresa of the world, Donald Trump, and sue the scumbag European Union, blackmail them by every means possible so that we bleed them dry and destroy them. So as one can see, Theresa May needs to listen to the great man, Lord Snooty, Rees-Mogg, and go for a super hard Brexit and fuck the EU. If she doesn't, then this technology will destroy the Tory party, destroy Theresa May, and bring in power to the people. Jeremy Corbyn, who of course will denuclearise the UK and bring in a golden age of socialism. So as you can see, all paths are fun. So we wander around. And as you can see, the fountain's great because in Kabbalah it's the bird's nest. See the demons in Kabbalah, fish are demons. We've got the 3 demons. That's the demonized Binah. The mother of demons is in Binah. And we've got the 3 levels, 1, 2 and 3. And we've also got 6 inputted because you can see we've got the one there, and one there that can be added. And you can see the 3 levels in the bird tables. There, then that goes down to 2, then that goes down to 1. Which is numbers from the Fibonacci series 1, 1, 2, 3. And as we saw with the bird table there, these things are used for hellizing. So we got all the new age wanks to pump their energy into feeding demons who would come up from the netherworld, infect the grid system, which spread out to put demons, allow them free path to walk into humans, produce the fat, stupid, gender neutral people we've got now, which didn't exist in 81, to change the human population and make it easy for the walk-in technology. Here, of course, we've got the water, the -1, right at the south of England, where the big ley line comes in here. So this can be thought of the -1 from the Argand diagram, the south, which is the realm of humans. We've got the birds, which in Kabbalah are the west. Noisy one. Shut up! Shut up! Which are in the west. That must be a female one. And the bird's nest in Kabbalah is where you put your good shepherds to be tortured and dump all your sins on them, so the super Jews, which are the vampires, can have all the good things in life. And harmonic convergence. The entire world population of New Agers pumped all of their goodness into the grid system to bring about harmonic convergence, which was raising the frequency of the planet, so that now in 2018 we're all living in paradise. We all live in mansions, drive Ferraris or Lambos or Maseratis, or if we're evil, we drive a Porsche. We have holiday homes, we have huge corporations, we walk on streets of gold. All of this is done by harmonic convergence, and everyone is living in perfect peace and harmony, because remember, the New Age wankers changed the world. As you can see, there's a reality problem in that we don't live in that reality. We've got a few kleptocrats like the Rothschilds who've got all of the wealth, and the majority of Westerners, like the millennials, are going to be poorer than their parents in 81. They've lost intelligence, they've lost beauty, they're fat and ugly now, their health is degrading, they've got massive mental health problems. So as you can see, this technology of Colin Bly has worked. But remember, Colin Bly's technology was run by the military, and the military were not about to empower the population, because an empowered population can't be ruled. And all we've got left now are millennials like that, squealing away in anguish, whining on Twitter and Facebook, and having videos of the problems, when in fact they are powerless to do anything about it. So I simply wander around here.
Okay, running out of batteries. So.
We're finished. Wander around here to finish the circle. As you can see, this circle's for spirit. So we're containing the spirit here. And this is controlling the big ley line that comes in and manipulating this fountain. Manipulates the big southern ley line that comes in and feeds the sexual energy of the UK, which was the assemblage point of the world. And by using this, you could then use the earth energies to change not only the British, but then change the Russians, and then of course they tried to change the Chinese. But by that time I'd taken the keys from Colin, and the system no longer worked because it had a new owner. That's an end to my little tour of Brighton, but if you go to London or any other major city, you'll find these things dotted around everywhere, and now you know why they're used to control reality for the Illuminati.
Well, thank you for contributing to this 88 part 5.
Thank you. I thought it was part 6, or part 7, or part 8.
Don't be silly.